Hey guys, Long Sleeve Records here, I'm Joe99, and today I'm going to reminisce on my songs, covers, etc. over the past year. Yes, I know the task is covered specifically, but that got the point across much more succinctly, so who cares? This video is counting down what I think are my 5 best works of the year. Keep in mind, I've put a larger emphasis on how they show my growth in using UTAU over how they sound, so this could be very different to what you guys think my top 5 best works are, but to each their own, and who knows, maybe tell me your favourite works of mine in the comments. Anyway, on with the video. This cover for number 5 because it really shows how fast I've gotten in regards to UTAU when I put my mind to it. This cover was made within 36 hours of the original song going live, and it was tuned, English, and I did 2 versions, one with Nucleoid and one with Alpha Rain, and it sounded pretty good. At least the Nucleoid version did. It was my first time using Alpha Rain, I had no idea how to use him, so it sounded subpar. It also showcases something that started to happen on my SoundCloud, which I like to call the Circus P effect. The Circus P effect is when Circus P releases a new song, and I rush to cover it and release the UST. This is in part due to Circus P releasing a stripped down VSQ alongside the song, giving me immediate access to a MIDI to make the UST from. Consequently, however, my Circus P USTs are, barring my initial Poker Face UST, the worst USTs I've made, and this applies to all of them, including the Dream UST I made not even a week ago, but this is because of how fast I'm rushing to make them. Musings about my USTs aside, I do think that my cover of Breathe with Nucleoid was pretty good, and it's a good showcase of how fast I can be when I put my mind to it. One thing I've noticed a lot in most endeavours I do, UTAU included, is I end up putting my first attempt on a pedestal far above nearly everything I proceed to make afterwards. More on that when I cover the honourable mentions. I feel that in a way, that's why this is at the number 4 spot, as First Up was, ironically, my first mashup. It's also, to date, the only mashup where I haven't incorporated lyrics from one of the 2 songs, because Start doesn't have any lyrics. But I do have legitimate reasons why I love this over the majority of my other mashups. I actually did some experimentation with it. I did some interesting stuff, and I also really like how it turned out. Also, it's the last time I made a PV in Premiere Pro, and still misusing it to this day. Yeah, this cover's pretty self-explanatory. I'm just really happy with how it turned out. It's what I personally feel like is one of the best covers I've ever done. It's also, out of all the covers on this list, the most recent one, barring the honorable mentions. It was also my first time doing a duet. Well, a duet where I actually put together how things are going to go myself. I don't really count the Fly Tonight Tonight cover, as that was heavily based off of the duet by Pancake and Sarge. Whereas, well, the inspiration cover, I put that together myself. And it turned out really well, I'd say. Who knew Nukupoid and Ritsu sound so good together? Also, another thing, which I think is a good indicator of its quality, is the original creator reposted it. Yes, that's right. Sid Black, the writer of inspiration, reposted my cover on SoundCloud. And it's personally quite an honour to have permission to release the UST as well, and everything that's happened between us since then is actually all stuff I owe to this cover. And so if you're seeing this, Sid, thank you. I will be putting together a cover dedicated to you one day. Also, there's that one note at the end of the second chorus, which was a bitch to tune, and I am way too proud of myself for doing that. There are two things about this cover that I feel give it this spot. The more experimental tuning I did, and the blending between my tuning and the tuning already on the UST. Shiny Cerebe's tuning was really good, and I felt they had left enough wiggle room for me to put in my own tuning, especially towards the end, and I experimented with changing the melody slightly at points, along with some ad-libs and growl, and I think it's all better for it. この生まれてきた私をどうかどうか許してと揺れる体この命を全て捧げていくのそれは刻まれた言葉を一つ一つ与えても共に許されることなど消えないと知りながら祈り捧げ続ける生まれてきた私をどうか許してと揺れる体この命を全て捧げていくの Now, before I get into the number one spot, here are some honorable mentions. My cover of Twisted Love, the original one, not the one I made for the anniversary. I was initially going to put this cover on at the number 5 spot. I've been playing this video for quite some time, but then the Breathe cover happened, which turned out to be everything I was going to talk about with the Twisted Love cover, but better because I also tuned it. My world. To be honest, this one was never going to make the cut, albeit I do believe writing and original songs are a pretty big thing. I don't feel like it compares to everything else I've done. The English version of Escapist. This was worth noting as it gave me a start in writing lyrics to an extent, but that's really all there is to say about that. Also, first time I've used ARPAsing, but nah, not really much to say there. I'm also curious as to how many people saw this one coming. Probably not many of you, but I personally see Grateful Logic as the epitome of my growth in regards to UTAU. It just turned out so well. The bonding of the lyrics from the two songs, the constant use of ANA to change between WhatsApp pens, it was just so brilliant. And I really have nothing else to add to this. I mean, as you may have been able to tell, as this has gone on, it's been harder and harder to say stuff about these covers, but I don't believe that detracts from what I'm saying. this mashup is truly, I'd say, the peak of how it improved. Thanks for watching this video, and here's to another year of covers. Bye!